lovers of love, and thank you for joining us on yet another excursion through the stream of consciousness down the river of tranquility to fill the lake of life with love.
And good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, our fellow lovers of love out there. And we've got the youngest member of our family over here, little monster.
Ramses. The kitten is on camera. Sorry if you can't see him.
Yeah, the kitten's here. He's running around. He's a little monster. Tonight, but we're here. We're going to talk about Lubby. You know, she's been having a difficult week, as tends to happen. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, about why and how sometimes how you can be tired of being what you are and who you are. And you can be tired of including taking the medications. Instead of she likes lemonade. No, it's okay. Leave her up here. She likes lemonade. He likes lemonade. Sorry. I just don't like his hair in my lemonade. But so how sometimes we can dislike having to take the medications that allow us to be who we are, you know? And we can get fed up with that. So we're going to talk about that. But as we all know, on Saturdays, we have questions. So if you have any questions or comments or something you want to send us to, you can send them to love@latenightLove.us, or you can go to latenightLove.us and leave us into the, all right, there you go. Go run off. No, now you're going to stay. Okay. So anyway, he'll do what he wants. He's fine. So anyway, there he goes. They never do what you want him to do and sit at the table. Of course, if we didn't want him to sit at the table, maybe you should open the laptop and then he'll have something he wants to play with.
He's always on my keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah, right. He'll learn any lessons over there. Okay.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the process of how I got here. And it happened with, it's been a while. The kids moved out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big change for us.
Yeah.
And they were my stepchildren, but there's still the loss there, you know.
Yeah, the loss.
And we are now empty nesters.
Yeah, the loss. And there's, it's one thing. You've got a little toddler running around. There's always a little bit of joy in the house, regardless, right? Because toddlers are just little bundles of joy.
I'd walk out and say, "Good morning, Ethan. Good morning."
So toddlers are a little bundle of joy.
Happy to see you.
Yeah. So, and toddlers laughing for me is still the greatest sound in the world. There's no greater sound than a toddler laughing. And so, there is a loss, even if it's just kind of atmospheric. You just don't hear the toddler laughing anymore. And we like to laugh, and we laugh a lot, but there's something about, I don't know, the purity of a toddler laughing, just having fun, just pure unadulterated fun. You don't even know why he's laughing. He's just laughing because it's good times. It's an instinctive reaction. And so, yeah, it's understandable, big changes. And,
there are big changes. So, and even if it's change I want, I don't do well with change.
Mm-hmm.
It disrupts my routine, and I am so much a creature of habit.
Even if the routine really needs to be changed.
Even if it's something I really need, that would be beneficial for me, yes.
And even if you want to change, changing is hard. Even when you want to change the routine, it can be
I've been trying. How long has it been since they moved out?
2 months now?
Okay, so for 2 months, I've been trying every day.
Yeah.
And everything's, it's in the middle of this big change, so everything feels like a big freaking deal. Doing laundry is a big freaking deal. And then you got to put it away. That's a big freaking deal. And you got to go through this for 2 months, and it wears on you. I slid into a bit of a funk, and I started thinking about how this is harder than it really should be. I don't like this. And I get angry that I'm bipolar. I get angry that these things are harder for me. I get my doom brain gets going. I hate that. And I have to live with this. And then I start getting on this pity pot, and I'll try not to whine. I'm trying not to whine because nobody wants to hear a whiner.
Well, Beth, there's a difference between whining and kind of explaining how you're feeling, and so that's the hard thing. Sometimes we think we're whining when really it's just we're explaining. But it is a line, right? There is a line. There is a line somewhere between kind of explaining how you're feeling.
I'm trying to watch my tone of voice too. I'm trying to keep it low.
Yeah, but it's a hard decision to make. When are you becoming just a whiny, wallowing in self-pity, and when are you just genuinely expressing kind of how you're feeling?
Which is where I'm at right at the moment. But to get there, I had to go through this pity pot. Why me? Well, I always come back ultimately to what my mother once said. There's something here for everybody. This is just mine. This is what happens to be mine. That's all. But when I'm in this pity pot thing, I certainly I get in thought loops, and they're hard to pull out of. But I try and do things. I try to remember my self-care, and I make sure I really try hard to get out of the house every day. But what's hard with that, my doom brain kicks in and says, it's dangerous out there. You might not make it back. So then I have to deal with that, which I've done it enough times, so I just tell myself, come on now, we've done this before, we can do this again, we made it back before, we can do this, come on. And walk myself out the door, here we go, open the door, shut the door, here we go, deep breath, lovely day outside, isn't it? Let's look for a flower. I take pictures of flowers, I post them on Facebook, my family back in Ohio loves them.
You should post them on Facebook telling you, with a quote of the day. Post them on your flower you find, and you post them on our Late Night Love page. But that's a different.
You have to show me how to do that.
I'll do that. Okay, I will.
Okay. And then I don't have a counselor right now, so I have to go through my toolbox by myself. Except I have my honey. I try not to. Here again, whine too much. But I do check in with Jim during the day, and in passing, we're passing each other in the house, doing our thing, and then sometimes we get to sit down and talk, and I can go more into in depth, and he's the best cheerleader. He listens. He reminds me of things that have worked in the past. I don't get all these weird things like, oh, it's just a feeling. You'll be all right. No.
Well, you do get that. I do tell you it is just a feeling. It'll be all right. But at the same time, I'm telling you it's a legitimate feeling. It's not illegitimate. It's real. Some people when they say, "Oh, it's just a feeling, it'll pass," what they mean is, "Oh, it's not a real feeling, so it'll pass." No, it's a real feeling, but historically, it'll pass. You do what you need to do, and it will pass. So it is. It's just a feeling. It will pass, but it's somehow different than, "Oh, it's just a feeling. It'll pass." So it's actually, I say this, the words are very similar, but it's how I say them. I listen to you and I say, "Oh, you know this. You've been through this before. It's just a feeling in your head. You'll work through it and it'll pass." Hey, it may take a day, it may take a month, it may take 3 months. Who knows? But it'll pass. And we don't make a big deal of it. So it's different than being a dismissive. It'll pass. It's real. You're going through what you're going through. We know it's hard. But we also know that it's that part of your brain that's not interpreting the world correctly.
No, I know it's not.
And so because we know that, we can say, no, your brain currently isn't interpreting the world correctly, and it's okay. So you're having these feelings. And he's over here jumping. He was attacking my hand.
I think it's time for him to leave.
Well, if you want to go put him out, you can go put him out.
Come here, you. Stealing the show.
And so it's understandable, and that you have these feelings. And so I think the difference is between a dismissive, "Oh, it's just a feeling," and, "Oh, it's just a feeling. You've been through this before. We'll get through it," because, it's real. The emotions attached to it are real, but the feeling itself.
And I always love that "we."
Well, it is a we. You're not alone. We're not doing this alone. I mean, you do all the work, but I'm here supportive for you, and it works both ways. I couldn't have gotten through being blind without you. It was a we. This whole thing is a we. That's the benefit of, a functional relationship, is you get to do these things with a we. These things are much easier when you have someone to help you. It's amazing now when someone's generally supportive and helpful, how much easier these difficulties in life actually are.
And I will admit, being in a relationship motivates me to try just a little bit harder every day, make my best effort. And sometimes I do things, I tell myself, I don't know if it's a mind trick or what you want to call it, but it works for me. I'll do it for Jim. I do the laundry for Jim.
Well, look, you get here and we do this now 3 times a week.
Oh, I like this.
Well, see, but it's still in a funk, and you can still get yourself out of that funk to come in here and do this 3 times a week now. Not just one. I mean, you have to get yourself up 3 times a week now. Get yourself up for it 3 times a week. Go through the process of getting in show mode 3 times a week now. Now, the shows are only half hour or so each, but that's not nothing when you're feeling like the world is coming down on you and you've got doom brain on your head. It's not nothing. So don't underbrush it. But how does that get to the point where now you get to the point where you're feeling? We'll kind of move on for a little bit quickly. But you were talking earlier about being tired of taking your meds when, you logically know that the meds are the one thing that keeps you being who you want to be.
I am not willing. It's kind of like not drinking. I don't want to pay the price the next day.
Yeah.
I don't want to be weepy. I don't want to fixate on it's kind of hard to talk about. I fixate on I over-identify with news that has children in it.
Yeah.
And I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. And a lot of people are dealing with that these days. And so when, and you who have that trouble in the best of days, right? So these days are very troubling. So you have kind of isolated yourself away from the modern news. And you do that because you have to, right? It's not taking care of yourself so you can take care of the things you need to take care of is, hey, there's other people in the world to take care of that kind of thing, right? You don't have to solve, you can't solve the world's problems. So you've got enough to deal with on your own.
I have CNN's 5 Things email.
You may want to turn those suckers off
every day, and I have Facebook, and I have friends and family.
You may want to turn.
I have a small world. I don't do pictures.
No, you may want to turn that CNN thing
No
off
video.
Even though CNN's apparently getting more neutral, so that CNN top 5 thing should be getting at least more balanced in the future.
Well, seems to be.
Seems to be a little more balanced, especially recently. Should be seeing more balanced last month or so.
I really can't tell.
Yeah. Well, that's right. You don't watch anything else. You don't know. It seems okay to me. That's all I get. No, well, but it's, I know I've only been taking pills for a year now, and I only take 1 pill a day, and I'm tired of it.
I take 3. I used to take 9. And on my good days, I'm very thankful for my meds, and that's also one of my that's on my gratitude list that I do, and that helps pull me. That's one of the tools in my toolbox to pull me out of my pity party is to make a gratitude list. It's humbling. And but no, I don't want to take my meds. I'm sick and tired of it. But I don't want to pay the price the next day. Just like taking a drink, I don't want to pay the price the next day, so I don't do it.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to pay the price at some time in the future. That's why I take mine. I don't know when the hammer will come. I just know if I don't take my pill, eventually the hammer will come down on me, right? So don't know if it's tomorrow, don't know if it's next year, don't know if it's 10 years from now. But at some point, history has proven that it will. So I've got to take this stinking little pill. But at that same point, as you said, I've got this stinking little pill to take. So I don't have to go through that again.
I built when I take my pills into my nightly routine. When I put on my pajamas, I take my meds, so I don't have any excuse that I forgot. I do it at the same time every night. But that about once a month I'll space it, and then I figure it out, and I have to take my meds.
Yeah, well,
Go through a bad day.
Well, we know what happens. It's those days where our schedule gets all out of whack for whatever reason. On occasion, our schedule gets all out of whack, and so your routine gets messed up. And those are the days you forget to take your pill. Those are the days I should think about reminding you, but I don't always remember.
We've never done that. We've never reminded each other of meds, have we?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen very often, and we're very soft about it, so it doesn't annoy us, and so it doesn't stick in our brains as something that's it's the way things how those little things that are helpful don't stick in the brain as much as those things that are annoying, right? A pillow, you forget about a pillow, but you always remember a pinprick. And so, it's all right. It's the way it is.
No, I feel bad.
But we're very nice about it because we don't remind people out of malice or anything. It's hey, you've had a long day. Did you remember your pills? And when the times that I would had to take, when my pills are more complicated than one, it's only a short period of time. You reminded me because I'm terrible about these kind of things. I'm so amazed that I take my pill routinely once a day. To be honest, I'm a pace. I've only forgotten probably like less than 5 times in the year, which for me is pretty freaking good.
I'll say.
And so, yeah, I would have expected forgetting a lot more. So I don't know. I guess I'm subconsciously motivated for some reason. So I'm tired of getting sick. Maybe.
But what I do know is it's common for people to go through this.
Yeah.
I go through it a couple times a year, not often.
Yeah. Well, and it is. It's understandable. You have to take a pill the same time every day. You have to kind of do something, and you have to become the person who you want to be. And why can't I be the person I want to be without having to take these stinking pills? Because you can't. You know, and there's no better answer than that. Because you can't. And we'd like to give you a better answer. We'd like to have something that's more comforting. But the reality is, I have to take this stinking pill every day. You have to take your 3 pills every day. Because that's what keeps us being who we want to be. That keeps me alive. Those keep you who you want to be. And it's...
Yeah, I don't want to go back to living like I was. Suicidal ideation is no fun trip in the ballpark.
No, it's... Life like that is no fun. And life being sick on and off is no fun. And, and it's completely understandable to get tired of taking your pills and to get tired of having to do treatments and to get tired of having to go through your therapies and get tired of having to continually work on yourself. And you want to scream at yourself, why can't I just be freaking normal? But, it's a cliche. People say sometimes these things are a gift. It's a cliche that's just like, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. And these things are cliches. But there's a reason people tell you these things. Because there's some truth to them. Just like the blunt truth of, we have these pills, these tools that help us stay healthy, that help us, become the human being we want to be. And, we're thankful for them. We generally are,
I am. My meds are on my gratitude list.
It's not that we're not thankful for them. You can be both. It's possible to be thankful for them and tired of them at the same time. But we all know that being thankful for them will eventually overpower that being tired of them. It just will. So just like this is a dip. This is one of those periods of time.
Oh, it's temporary.
It's one of those periods of time where you're having a funk, and the funk is triggered by a severe change. By, positive or negative, change is change.
Yes.
And so, it is what it is. And, and I'm going through a big change, and, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Our show is changing, the relationships and stuff we're building. So there's a lot of change. It's not just the household change. There's a lot of change. And so it's always a difficult time. And so, we just keep working through it. And we are lucky we have a functional relationship because, like you said, all of this is a we.
Yes.
We're not alone.
No.
And you, my friends out there in our land of love, are not alone either. I think it's time for me and Lubby to wrap this up. Otherwise, we're just going to start repeating ourselves. But you are not alone. We are here at latenightLove.us. If you ever want to reach in contact with us, you can send love letters at love@latenightLove.us. We would always love to hear from you. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, all those various things on your favorite social media platform. And from me and Lubby, please remember to love everybody.
Good night.